The Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole studio in foggy, smoky, smoked salmon.
I saw that and smell. No, I didn't smell it as much as I would have liked to. But Terry, we're in Bob Cage, and that's Terry over there talking. This is Jim, and he made a wonderful breakfast for me, which he always does when I come up here. But it was the best guacamole, whatever you call that stuff.
That sounded like you were going to say Guatemala.
Yeah.
It's avocado.
Avocado. It was delicious. I spread it on my toast. It was delicious with a little bit of lemon, some weird fake salt they use, and a twist of pepper.
All natural, all herbal.
It was delicious, and a coffee, of course, and I had some banana and some
Apple slices.
apples, and this means absolutely nothing to anybody.
Yes, it does. It means you're refueled and ready to go.
Ready to go through the fog and smog of the fires. For our audience, this happens to
We're
be
in Canada.
June, and there's fires everywhere in Canada. The country's burning, which will bring us to the subject we're going to be talking about. It's the end of the world as we know it. I don't even know that
I used to
song.
think it was the Great Big Sea, but it's not. Who does the end of the world? Is that not Radiohead? Who's it? Somebody write in. Bob, are you listening?
Come on, Bob.
It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. Do you feel fine?
I think that is Great Big Sea.
Okay, maybe they did a version of it.
Maybe.
I don't know if that. Anyway, okay.
No, it was probably Peter, Paul, and Mary or something.
It sounds like a Dylan song. It's the end of the world.
What?
Do your Dylan voice.
Hey, come on, Terry. We got so much time. Did you hear about the fact that it's all coming to an end this real soon?
I love that Dylan voice.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the end of the world. There are two views of the end of the world. One is, it's supposed to be this way because it's in the Bible, it's prophetic, and it's going to go this way, whether you like it or not. And then there is the other side.
Yeah, we're not going to do the Bible route at this particular time because nobody knows the day or the hour of that. But apparently, someone is pretty convinced that this summer we are going to have a major announcement that's going to shake the earth.
Are we rolling? Okay. I don't know what page we're on.
Well,
I was going to
we're
go.
on the end of what the heck? We're
Well,
on
I was going to go
aliens
with
are coming.
Well,
Where are you? What are you talking about?
Okay, on my
Not
page.
Joe Rogan again, are you?
On my page it says the end of America if Trump wins the next election. Which was Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, and getting back to stuff in the news this week.
Okay, so what do we do now?
I don't know. It could be all the end of the world anyway.
Let's ask Molly, our producer.
Molly, give us I'm getting the finger. I don't know what you're getting.
Okay, well.
Okay, so let's go political, then we'll go to the alien.
Yeah, we're not going to have time for both. But
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Well,
go political.
stop rambling. Let's go.
right.
Okay, political was a comment that Liz Cheney made in an interview, and I cannot, for the life of me, recall the network. I saw the clip in which she said, again, she reiterated this because this was her conclusion for the J6 investigations, the committee that she was one of two Republicans on because McCarthy refused to support this investigation. Her conclusion was, at all costs, whatever it takes, America cannot afford to let Trump, maybe that's the wrong way,
To have Trump.
to have Trump win.
I agree with her.
It'll be the end of America.
I agree with her.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Yeah. Number
Here we
one.
sit here calmly dissecting American politics and saying it's okay.
Well, I mean,
2024 is coming, Jim.
the best defense that Trump has as far as the public is concerned is everybody's corrupt. We're all corrupt, so what difference does it make? We know this corrupt guy. He is unbelievably corrupt. And I told you, I even felt sorry for him the other day because to me, he looked like he was a little bit worried. And it's the first time I've seen that.
Older and more frail.
A little older and frailed and worried. And I
less
felt my heart went out
bronzed
to him.
with his spray on tan.
Yeah. But the bottom line is he started with the whole Hitler idea about bad-mouthing the media. You know, you can't trust them. They're fake news. They're all fake news. If you didn't agree with Trump, you'll realize even Fox got to that point where they became fake news.
They are fake news now. He just said it
there you
yesterday.
go. So you have to agree with him. Anything else is fake. And his people go, yeah, he's right. It's all fake. So we're now going to go to all of the experts online who haven't gone to any school to learn anything about it. And we're going to just listen to all the conspiracy theories that go down. So what do we know about this man? This man man is someone who is revealed to roomfuls of people at his New Jersey golf course.
Bedminster.
Yeah, that he has these secret documents. That's right there. It's a fact. We know that he lies on all statistics and everything that he's achieved. We know that that's a lie.
He uses Sharpies to extend maps.
He's a man who does nothing but lie. He's a man that will throw anybody under the bus, and there are many in jail because of him. And he's a man that has appears to be incredibly narcissistic to the point where it doesn't matter as long as he's happy. I think if he gets elected again, you will never have another election.
Well,
ever.
Didn't he also say 2 weeks ago that he's on his vengeance tour?
Yeah, no, he didn't say vengeance. What was it? Maybe he said that then, but he called it not restoration.
Revenge?
No, it wasn't revenge. It was, I am your, not a redeemer, but I am your, I forget the word,
Okay,
Cheapers.
that's
That's
okay.
terrible. Same sort of idea,
Yeah.
I guess, but he used a particular word, which I'll remember when we're finished.
Great. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll put
yeah.
it in the notes underneath.
Yeah, and so...
Okay, so Liz Cheney, that's the point in the news, and if I follow Adam Kinzinger as well, so I follow Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger because they are the two Republicans who did accept the invitation of Nancy Pelosi to be part of the investigation.
There was others who were invited too, by the way, as you pointed out.
Yes.
But they were told not to, and those who did,
By Kevin
like
McCarthy.
Liz Cheney, they have paid a great price.
Yes, they both resigned from the political sphere.
Yeah, they are good Americans, quite frankly.
Patriots.
True patriots.
True, because they paid a cost of their career, and only patriots are willing to take that hit.
Yeah, and the others, Lord only knows what's, well, I think I know what's motivating it. It's all money. Everything's money. We were talking about that even with Robert Kennedy Jr. there when you were saying he's sort of like a conservative Democrat, type thing. And I said, it's just, he knows where the donations are coming from. He's playing it right up the middle, and he's getting donations from both sides.
So does, you switched gears here from
I always do.
Trump being the end of America as we know it if he wins in 2024 to RFK, who's running on the Democratic ticket, RFK Jr., and you're suggesting, do you think RFK Jr. can take the Democratic nomination from Biden?
Nobody can say nothing about anything anymore. I'll tell you why.
With certainty.
Trump became president. That man became the president of the United States and ruled the nation for 4 years. And I say ruled, yes, because he wants to be king, in my opinion. So, yes, Robert Jr. can become the president of the United States, absolutely. He's a very convincing speaker. And if you don't do the research, or if you don't remember, like we talked about wisdom wasted on the elders, when we go back and we know that his uncle, who he keeps
JFK,
quoting, John F. Kennedy, was willing to go to war and throw the world into World War III against the Russians. You wouldn't know that listening to Robert Kennedy Jr. Yeah. He talks about the great things his uncle said, but we were going to go to war. We had the air raid sirens in my neighborhood at that time. Sure. And he basically said, if you do not get this stuff off of Cuba, we're going to fight you. And we were talking nuclear, my friends, nuclear war. So those who are listening to us, remember there is some wisdom in remembering the past.
RFK, I'm hoping, doesn't even come close to anything to make a difference. My fear is that he might draw votes away.
I don't know.
We'll see. I don't
I'm
even
trying
know.
not to get too involved. I know we got a show and we talk about it, but the truth of the matter is everything is becoming so exhausting with the battles. There's one thing I think he said, Robert Kennedy Jr., I think it was he said, everything's a fight. Absolutely, everything's a fight. It's a war. It's a war against calories. It's a war against public school. It's a war against unions. It's a war. Everything's a war now. That's what we've done, and that's what our society is now. The sitting across the table and coming to some reasonable agreement seems to be harder and harder.
So
war, you want to win, right? You
polarization.
want to win.
Yeah, instead of finding a compromise or an off ramp, as they say in politics these days.
I long for that.
The end of the
stuff.
world, if Trump is elected, end of America. Could it be the end of the world? And an extended view, if Trump gets reelected, what would foreign policy look like? Well, I think Putin is hanging on by his fingernails in the war in Ukraine in order to see if Trump actually pulls it off a second time in 2024.
Well, if Trump wins, and one of Trump's promises, which do we expect him to keep it, was I will end that war in 24 hours. The only way that that war will end in 24 hours is if he pulls support out. And then he subjects that country to annihilation. Oh, and it was solved. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think
don't
he would
trust
give
the guy.
away the farm for Ukraine. He'd give away all the 4 provinces that Putin unilaterally declared independent territories, and they could vote in favor of Putin in Russia. I think that he will also give away Crimea in perpetuity, give that back to Russia. That's how you solve something. He will declare these things to be so. Putin will say, see?
Yeah.
So,
I win.
I think there's pressure to end this thing before Trump has any hope of doing anything, but that takes us to indictments, 37 so far, to remove the former guy from any chance of running.
Well, I don't know. Because apparently you can run for president and be
From
incarcerated
jail.
from jail. So they've
Just give me a
set
Coke.
this. They've set this.
Would you
world
bring us
up.
some Cokes?
Yeah. So all of a sudden, you know how Mar-a-Lago. I
Mar-a-Lago.
can't say that place. Became the second White House, so I guess the jail cell will be the third.
I don't think he's given up. I think he thinks he won in 2020, and I think he thinks he's still president. Trouble is, there are at least 70-some-odd million who may agree with him, and that is a problem.
That's scary.
All right, bye-bye for now. Jim and Terry Show, signing off.